Did you?
Hello. Yeah, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Energy Transformation Week 2016. And we're on day 5. And my name is Tara Taglienti, and I'm really excited to bring out my next interview with Dr. Lisa Cooney. And I am just so excited and grateful to have Dr. Lisa Cooney on and join us for Energy Transformation Week. I think just having her on this panel and giving some resources and so that you guys can get into some of her work. It's changing the world. It's changing the planet. It's changing my world. And Dr. Lisa, I would love to. Oh, first of all, let me tell you everybody who you are. Dr. Lisa is she is the founder and creator of Living Your R.O.A.R, and it's radically orgasmic alive reality. And she's also an author, a best-selling author, and also an access consciousness facilitator, as well as so much more. And Lisa, I would love to bring you out and let you kind of let everybody know who you are in your words and what your mission is in the world.
Thank you so much, Tara, and I'm so grateful to be here and adore you, and I'm so glad that you're doing this, and I'm happy to be a contribution to all the other beautiful beings out there that will be listening to this. And how's it getting better than that? You putting on this Energy Transformation Week and gathering the abundance of beautiful beings you have to spread the message of healing and hope for all the world to see. You never know who is going to show up and who we're going to show up for and on behalf of. So anything like that, I'm happy to be a part of. So thank you for considering me and including me.
Thank you. So Lisa, so in your words, who are you? Like, I know you have a lot of different like titles and stuff like that, but it's like there's something bigger. It's like there's a mission in the world, and you assist. I mean, in my own experience, I've gone to your classes. I listen to your radio show. I've been on your radio show, and you move people from. I would say moving people beyond like a trauma and drama or despair. I've seen you move people from tears to sheer joy in a matter of minutes, and there's something magical to it. I know you're an energy healer and you work with energetics. So basically, it's like, what's your mission in the world? What had you get in, and like what had you get started, and what moved you into energetics? Like what kind of brought you here?
Great question, and thank you for all of that. Lots of pieces that I would love to pop into and discuss with you here. So first and foremost, who am I? I'm a girl from Brooklyn, New York.
Love it.
Right? I'm a New Yorker. Who's now transplanted living in Texas. And essentially from a very young, abusive background, violent background, I have decided and made it my mission, my target, if you will, to empower all individuals to live radically and orgasmically alive by eliminating and eradicating, to the best of my ability, and I'll give it my best, to eliminate and eradicate all forms of abuse off this planet. I believe that it is possible to live on this earth without abuse, and until I rest my eyes and lay my body and it goes bye-bye in this lifetime, that is what this voice, this body, this being, me, will be doing. And it's a big task in a certain way. But what it's come from is my own, it's a very private and it's a very personal mission.
Yeah.
It's like I say, I never wanted to, I always desired someone to have my back the way that I have had moving beyond abuse's back. over the last, period of time on this earth. And so how did I get into energy work and all of that stuff? Well, it's kind of like, it came very early on. Very early on. So there's a long story, a long detailed story to that. But essentially, I had an awareness from a very young age, probably before the age of 7, that people simply like to be around me, and they like to be around my energy. And I had a way of saying things, and actually, even before I could totally put formal operational thoughts together, just an energy being. People always felt good in my presence. And I can't say what that is specifically. All I know is that it has been very useful and very fruitful in my career, in my business, in my adult life, in working with people, one-on-one groups, internationally and nationally, on the radio show, as you mentioned, through my words in the books that I've been a published author in, and in the larger books that are soon to be coming out. And it's all about empowerment and moving beyond abuse and living radically and orgasmically alive. So that's a little short version to me.
Yeah, and the thing is that I've actually seen you. The first time I think I've ever seen you in action was at the very first Symphony of Possibilities class in Santa Barbara, and you were just walking from table to table. It was like, I think we were either on a break or something like that, and I just remember seeing this woman, going from table to table, just contributing and working on people's bodies. And I've never seen anybody just be so like dynamic with their hands. And I looked over, and I mean, that was that class, I realized, okay, I'd like to be actualizing my abilities, and I remember seeing you working on people, and I think you even worked on someone next to me, and I just remember being like, whoa, I want to meet her one day. So,
You're very kind.
well, I'm grateful to have met you this year. Like, can I just share a little bit with you? Just really briefly, I took your the R.O.A.R class in DC in October. Let me tell you, the things that whatever we moved, because I asked a question and it went somewhere I had no idea it was going to go. However, last year's holidays, I basically left early, okay? Several people left early. This year's holidays, everything was, I was just like, yeah, when are we coming back? We actually even spent New Year's together, and we were all playing board games and stuff like that. It's just been, things are changing.
Yes.
And the level of receiving, the things that are changing in my world, I'm like, where have you been all my life? Why didn't I start with you?
Everything that you've done, and you know this, everything that you've done led you to what you were able to do, and what you reached your hand out to me with that question, and how I reached back. Yeah. Because that's the whole point of living your war, is I reached my hand out to people. I know how to move beyond abuse. Yes. Because I've lived it myself. 2.5 to 3, almost 3 decades of violent abuse, from financial to sexual, and all the gamut in between. On a daily basis. I know what it takes, and I know what the effects are. And I know the insidiousness, I know the insanity of it, and I know the craziness of it. And I know that you got to keep your eye on the ball with this thing called abuse so that you can move beyond it. Otherwise, defeat, depression, anxiety, destruction, despair is what you will create in your life. Yeah. And I got so tired of creating that myself that I made a solemn vow that I was going to do whatever it takes, no matter what, to move myself beyond it. And then what I did was pragmatize it and put it into a class so that I could show other people how to do it. And that's how you witness someone in tears and in despair being in joy minutes, moments later. And I did the 10, 15 years of therapy and talk therapy. That was great for what it was at the time, but I know that things are different now. The world is different now, and I'm different now. And there's a whole system that I've created to living your roar that will facilitate what you're talking about and give you the results of what you experienced at home with the family and the holidays, and actually enjoying it versus separating, more drama, more trauma, more crisis, and having to spend another 10 years in therapy talking about that event at Christmas.
Yeah.
We're done with that. That's the old, outdated form of moving beyond anything, because it doesn't move you beyond anything. This is about real, concrete, long-lasting change.
Yeah, and you actually have created like very easy. Well, I mean, now, I mean, it's taken a little bit of time, but there's like 4-step processes, simple 4-step processes that you give to people so that they can stop and look at and examine. And there's your 4 Ds, your 4 Cs, and 4 Es. And I know not go into it in length, but will you share like maybe the
Yes.
most basic one of those with the viewers?
The basic one is really the the term, the cage of abuse. Somebody that has been abused, and you can think sexually, you can think emotionally, you can think psychologically, energetically, financially, spiritually. Any type of abuse, judgment on yourself. Any type of abuse that is a power over another, that is taking your power away. You live within this cage of abuse. It's like an invisible ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And that invisible ghost has those 4 Ds to it, which is denying, defending, dissociating, and disconnecting. Mm-hmm. And basically, when you stay in abuse, locked in that invisible cage, you walk around with this sheath, this armor of, I am bad, I am wrong, I am damaged goods, I am defective, poor me, nothing can change. No matter how hard I try, nothing will ever work. Well, I live there too. Yeah. And so I knew that something else was possible. So what I had to do was, and what I do with people, is to literally take a look and embrace the cage of abuse. Yeah. And just acknowledge it and be like, this is a freaking cage. I'm locked in it, I am trapped, and like any animal, I would not like to be locked in a cage. I want to choose something different. Well, the difference to choose is radical aliveness. What are the steps to radical aliveness? The 4 Cs, as you said. Yeah. You, commit to you, collaborate with the universe, conspiring to bless you, and then create. Yes. Notice how you get a smile on your face when I say that. I get a smile on my face. Because those 4 Cs take you out of this cage and give you choice. Mm-hmm. Well, it's then when you are out of the cage and you have choice, then you can literally embrace being your own radical ally, being your own orgasmic ally for the creation of your own alive reality. Yeah. And that leads us to the 4 Es, which is 4 E's in your life, and this moves you beyond abuse. The steps to radical aliveness are embrace, examine, embody, and expand. And when you embrace, examine, embody, and expand, no matter what, good or bad, positive or sad, and you own it and acknowledge it, then you can choose you, commit to you, collaborate with the universe, and create your life. That gives you full choice in a topic that has had no choice. Yes, it is. It's just brilliant. It's brilliant. And the more that I listen to the radio shows, and we'll give everybody links and stuff like that and how to get some of this information. But for me personally, the more I listen to the radio shows, the more I read the blogs, the more I engage with your content, the more it sinks in for me, and I can implement it in my own life. And I'm just super grateful for all of it. And here's one more question, another question. It's come up several times on this series from different speakers, is that they've had these kind of like
tough backgrounds or abusive backgrounds, and I'm wondering, what's your point of view on like people who have had abusive backgrounds and stuff like that? It seems like they're the ones with the most brilliant capacities and abilities to heal others. What's your point of view of like why that is, and your take on it?
Well, we obviously made a choice, all of us, and it might not have been a good choice at the time, but I know for myself, the soul that I am, the being that I am, that I came very clearly from a very young age. I had very clear messages, very clear awareness, very clear existential experiences from a very young age, and spiritual experiences, that I was going to do this, and this was going to be my target in this lifetime. That I was going to take on this abuse, and I was going to do my best to leave a legacy of moving beyond it. And I can't speak to what other people have chosen, but I know that I made that choice. And I know that in this reality, the sensitive nature of who I was and what I was hadn't quite been acknowledged or even seen before, let's say. And there's a lot of people out there like that. And there's a lot more of us out there and out here than there are of anything else. And so that's why I do this. It's like calling us all to task and saying, all right, call to action. Let's do this. Let's empower all individuals all over the world to just stand up and create a world without abuse. So like I said, I can't necessarily speak to what other people chose, but I know I chose to do this and get really, really clear and conscious in this lifetime to the best of my ability to be different, to make a difference, and to have all children basically lie their heads on the pillow at night with hands to hold, food in their bellies, love in their hearts, and peace in their minds. No child should have to worry about someone coming in and touching them or raping them or disrupting sleep. Every child should rest.
Yeah. And that is profound. And like I said, the more I engage with your material and content, the more grateful I am that not only that I found you in my world, but also I'm just grateful that like whatever I've chosen to come and learn this stuff for myself, I'm just grateful for that as well. There's a way that you facilitate people that I've experienced, that I see it. It's, for me, in my experience, it's different, although I do have the awareness and the education to know that everything does involve the body. But what I've noticed is that your style of facilitating, it seems that everything goes right. You take the focus a lot to the body.
Yes.
And for the viewers and people that might have experienced some different styles out there, I'm wondering if you could elaborate a little bit about why that is and what is going on there with the body.
Sure. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Basically, what I saw over 25 years now in being in business for myself and facilitating classes all over the world, internationally, nationally, and then running groups and private clients one-on-one, is that people came to me for 3 reasons: money, relationships, and health. And they would talk about them, but it wouldn't change anything. So I knew that they knew their stuff really well. But what I could do for them is to get underneath what they didn't know. And I'll be very honest with them when they come in my office. I say, I'm not the person that you're going to be able to tell your story to over and over again, expecting something to just change. I am the person that when you tell me your story, I will bring out different aspects that you may not have seen, and they lie in your body. So when you talk to me about something, I'm going to say, where in your body do you feel that? Yeah. And if that part of your body, your chest, your arm, your leg, or whatever, had a voice and it could speak, what would it say? And then what I would do, what that does, is that activates the cellular memory of the muscles, ligaments, cells, tendons, systems, and organs, the fascia of our body, to evoke the energy that's stored there, speak it, which actually houses the belief systems that keep us doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And it's lying in the soma, the body, the somatics. And so I learned that myself when I was diagnosed with going back to the first question about energy healing, life-threatening disease, and went and got my master's in theta healing, where I learned almost every belief system lodged in every system of the 15 systems of the body: my eyes, the ears, immune system, liver, digestive system, whatever, the blood. And I learned how many belief systems have attached in our blood, in our endocrine system, in this system and that system, that I never knew before, and that I was actually believing as true and creating my body and my being as something. When I started to look at that and change that through these energy practices, I relieved the disease. When the endocrinologist told me that I could have 3 choices: cut out the organ, live on medications for the rest of my life, and kill it. Well, I said, no, no, no. And I still have all my organs, all my systems intact, and cured it by doing everything energetically. So the soma, the body, is where everything is housed. And if there's something that you have not moved beyond, it's stuck in your body somewhere. And I'm gonna shine a flashlight on it.
Yeah, I do, and it's pretty phenomenal. It's brilliant. That brings me to another question is, like, you have many programs and live events and stuff all over the world. Would you like to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on? I know, and mention the radio show and just some of the things that you have maybe coming up soon.
Sure. Thank you. There's so many things. The whole target of Living Your R.O.A.R is so that we all can become our radical ally and reclaim the orgasmic fun, excitement, and nature of joy. Not only sensualness, not only sexualness, but joy of our alive reality.
I'm just going to interrupt. Have you ever, there's a Disney movie out right now, and it's called it's something, and it goes into like the brain, and it has all the little emotions, guys, and the joy actually gets lost in the brain. I watched this movie. It's called Inside Out. If you ever get a chance to see it, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but when I saw that movie, I watched it with my little nephews, right? And it's all about the brain functions and stuff, and joy actually leaves the core, the cerebral cortex. She gets lost somewhere, right?
Well, that's exactly what happens with abuse.
Yeah, and she finds her way back, to the cerebral cortex. That's like the whole mission of the movie.
Yes.
And when I watched that movie, I was like, that's what Dr. Lisa does. She finds your joy and brings her back,
Right.
So if you ever get to see Inside Out, you got to see that movie. Okay, continue.
Absolutely.
On.
Don't be sorry. That's a perfect segue into this, because that's the whole point. Is like, I have worked. I knew that I had this childlike innocence that was full of curiosity and wonder and joy. And I knew at one point that I lost that, and it was replaced with cynicism and skepticism and depression and anxiety and rage, to be truthful, and I'm so angry, right?
Yeah.
And I know so many people like myself that were so brilliant, and then all of a sudden they just got derailed because they let the story of the abuse and what occurred define them. I even did one of the shows on Voice America before abuse, remembering who you were. And that's the truth, is that no matter what your past, no matter what tragedy has befallen you, or no matter what your story, it is never too late to find your joy and reclaim what's true. They can touch your body, they can do whatever, take your money, they can lie to you, they can say things about you, but they can never take away what's really true infinitely about you, which is that you're phenomenal, you're brilliant, you're amazing, your body just responded, in the way that it was its job to do in the first place. It had nothing to do with the actual body of you. It had everything to do with the act, but it does not define you. Nothing defines you unless you define it as you.
Wow. Okay, deep breath. That was brilliant, and I'm sure that this is going to contribute to so many people who are watching this now and also in the future.
What I do want to let people know, just to let you know, is that there's hope, and I know that that's what this whole week is about.
Yeah.
Is that if you or someone you know is struggling, moving beyond abuse, and if you had enough with the struggle, that's what I'm here for. I have somebody that works on my team now that met me in Perth, Australia, on the other side of the world, and she said in 6 minutes I moved her beyond 10 years of therapy with something that changed her life forever. So it's because I know, and I have a laser-like focus when it comes to this topic. I don't know how or why in a certain way that this is fun for me, but it is fun for me because I have great fun with moving people beyond the shackles of this cage to their radical aliveness, to that joy that you said you experienced at the holiday. That's the point.
Yeah.
The Voice America, Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's replay and encore presentations, iTunes podcasts. It's my labor of love, and it's a free psychoeducational resource that is just on the air. That it's my labor of love to have my voice all over the world for any country and anybody to call up and say, hey, I got this issue regarding this particular situation that I'm in regarding abuse. How can you contribute to me? And for any other information, people can find me at www.drlisacooney.com. I'll be in Hawaii soon. That's always a fun vacation place where you can take the Embrace Your R.O.A.R classes if you'd like to move beyond abuse and work with me personally. And there's a whole list of classes on my website.
Yeah, guys, we're going to actually I'll put the links to all of Dr. Lisa's resources underneath this video on YouTube and also anywhere that it's posted on the microsite, the Energy Transformation Week 2016. So one more thing, this is something that I always ask each person on this. I'm going to actually, it's a question that I think is pretty important. And I want to just say, this is the last question that I like to leave off with people on this panel. Imagine the younger you is watching this video, okay? Like the you that was making that choice to take the path of the healer, the facilitator, like at the beginning of it all, right? What would you say to that being knowing the being that you are today?
I would say we did it.
Yeah. And you are doing it, and like, yeah. And Lisa.
And I would also say that it's like an energy, but there's a smile on my face, there's a light in my eyes that she had, and she has. And it was never lost. It might have gotten dark, but it was never lost. And my vow to her was that I would always have her back, so that I would be her radical ally, her orgasmic ally, and to create a live reality with her. And I have here in the United States, in India, in Hong Kong, in Israel, in Europe, and many other, and South Africa soon to be, and many other places. So no matter what your past, you can always find the silver lining.
Dr. Lisa, that was beautiful and inspirational, and you know, this is why I'm doing Energy Transformation Week 2016, I know that this is going to reach out to people. You know that they say on social media, for every like you get, right, there's always 10 lurkers that just didn't say anything. So guys, if you're out there, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. You just heard why Lisa's doing what she's doing, and there's a lot of resources out there for you. And Dr. Lisa, I'm grateful that I've crossed paths with you this lifetime, and I'm grateful to know you. I'm grateful that you're part of this panel, and thank you so much again for being here. I can't just stop saying thank you. So, if there's
your gratitude is infectious. Thank you, and thank you for taking your own pain and turning it into a silver lining and bringing this energy transformation week to the world.
Yeah.
Because you're reaching your hand out as well.
Yeah. Well, we learn from the best,
We do.
Hey, is there anything that you would like to say in closing to our viewers out there?
Sure. Be you beyond anything and create magic.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to be speaking with Jade Yin Ham at 2 p.m. Eastern. And again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow on tomorrow's video. And thank you again, Dr. Lisa Cooney.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, honey.
Bye.